Cardano's Layer 2 ecosystem has just grown by 10,000% in 2 months. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the major fundamental and technical updates on the Cardano project that are leading Cardano to have an even more scrumptious, more exciting buying opportunity than we have had in a very long time. As its price is sitting down here below $1, currently at 84 cents, its ecosystem on the Layer 2 network is continuing to grow as we've just passed $200 million in total value locked, when in January the number was less than $2 million. This is a major development for Cardano. We're going to be talking about what this means for the future of its market capitalization, and we're going to be looking for opportunities to invest in the future of decentralized finance. We're going to be talking about all of that and more in today's video, so if you do enjoy, make sure to hit that like button. But without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. For context, we're going to start on the Cardano chart. As you know, Cardano has more or less been trading sideways price-wise over the last year and a half. Ever since it initially jumped above $1, it has now started to downtrend over the last 6 to 8 months. However, even with this downtrend, Cardano still maintains its place in the top 10, currently sitting at number 8 with a $28 billion market capitalization. It has an all-time high of $3 and is pulled all the way back down to 80 cents as its local bottom. Now, I want to show you several different zones of support that is currently witnessing, some technical reasons why a breakout to the upside may be coming soon, and then we're going to wrap it out by covering this fundamental reason why Cardano is such a great place, has such a great time to be investing in right now. Now, if we take a look at this downtrend, we can see that Cardano has lost 74% of its valuation over the last 200 days. You might look at that and say, oh my gosh, that is terrible. Why would you want to invest in that project? Well, you could have said the exact same thing about Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was trading at $3,000 after pulling back from $20,000. But the thing that led Bitcoin into a major resurgence and a major rally were its fundamentals, the use case, and the fact that it is an optimal solution to a very important problem. Bitcoin is the solution to the problem of inflation and the inability to store wealth throughout time. Bitcoin is the solution for that. Cardano is the solution for hundreds of millions, if not billions of people that do not have reliable systems of governance so that they are able to have identification, so they're able to take loans out, so they're able to identify themselves for the rest of the world to know whether or not they have good credit, what their medical records are, what their history of crime is, their crime history is. Cardano is building Layer 2 applications in the decentralized application space that are incredibly important. So in the same way that Bitcoin had a major 80% collapse, but then went on to rally several thousand% from there, Cardano is most likely going to do the same thing. And I do believe that it's going to, and I put my money where my mouth is, to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars invested in ADA, because I really do genuinely believe it is a project that is going to change millions of lives and lead to a lot of growth. So let's take a look at the current support. Many people are saying that Cardano is likely to go all the way back down to 50 cents, and I'm not terribly convinced that that's going to happen. I do believe, prefacing, that wherever Cardano goes is going to have a lot to do with what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin goes into a big rally, then Cardano is likely going to be able to follow, and it'll probably outpace Bitcoin on the ADA over Bitcoin chart. However, if Bitcoin is not able to rally and Bitcoin goes through a period of stagnation for the next 6 months or drops down into the low 30s, then we may see Bitcoin leading Cardano down to 50 cents. I don't, however, think that that's what's most likely, but in case we do, here's the level of support. It'd be down here at 40 cents. We set it back here in January of 2021. I think that Cardano has a pretty good fighting chance of holding at 70 to 80 cents, and part of the reason for that is this falling wedge. You can see that there is a falling wedge on Cardano's daily chart right now. It has been in effect since December. This falling wedge is almost complete, and over the last 4 to 5 days, Cardano has actually been rallying to the trend line of resistance to test it as resistance. If we are able to break bullish above this level, likely having to do with the total value locked increasing, which we'll talk about in a second, then we could see Cardano rallying all the way up to $1 if, and this is the major if of the statement, if Bitcoin allows it by being bullish enough to allow the altcoin market to grow. Now, the good news is, if you look at the altcoin market today, it has actually been growing quite a bit. We can see Ethereum's up 4.7%, Binance Coin up 4%, XRP up 3%, Cardano up 5%, Solana up 7%, Avalanche up 14%. So Cardano does have a fighting chance of rallying with the rest of the altcoins in the next couple of days back up to $1. And one of the main reasons why that may occur is because finally its Layer 2 ecosystem is starting to come online in a big way. Now, you might look at this number and say, okay, the total value value locked is $223 million. That's up significantly from $2 million back at the same time in January. But for context, let's go over here on DeFi Llama and look at Ethereum. Ethereum has $113 billion in total value locked. That's the big difference. But if you look back in the history of Ethereum, it was only 2 years ago that Ethereum had $200 million in value locked. It was not long ago that we were sitting at $500 million, maybe even $250 million in TVL over on ETH. Cardano is moving much faster than Ethereum, possibly because it is developing without having to go back and fix things like Ethereum 2.0 is doing. Cardano is able to march forward. So I do believe that we're going to see Cardano nipping at the heels of Ethereum. Now, if we go back to Cardano here and look at its graph, we can see that it is rapidly growing. Part of that has to do with the fact that Sunday Swap went online about a month and a half ago. We also saw Min Swap go online. You can also see 8X Pro down here with some total value locked. So what this means is that the layer 2 ecosystem on Cardano is starting to grow. You have the DeFi Alliance over at Cardano that is helping to bring on DeFi platforms, decentralized applications. The entire backend is now really ready to go. There's a lot of development that's going on the Plutus backend for decentralized applications and smart contracts. There's a lot of throughput and scalability solutions coming. In fact, we're actually going to be making a video on the roadmap of Cardano in the next couple of weeks, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll talk about all the stuff that's coming to Cardano, but the point is, it is now ready for its decentralized application ecosystem to start coming online. And in the span of just 2 months, it's turned into $222 million. That's a big deal. So let me tell you where I think Cardano is going over the next year. I think that Cardano is going to be fully fleshed out. It's going to have a fully fleshed out decentralized application ecosystem that is able to compete with Ethereum. In fact, if Ethereum keeps pushing back ETH 2.0, and if Ethereum is unable to process the kinds of transactional throughput it needs to maintain a $113 billion layer 2 ecosystem that we can see here on DeFi Llama, Cardano is really going to start giving it a run for its money. I think Cardano is going to start to becoming a real contender in the layer 2 decentralized application space, and I do think you're going to see projects jumping ship from Ethereum to Cardano because Cardano is a much more robust and more trustworthy system that will be able to grow into the future without having major problems with transactional throughput and major problems with legacy architecture that was built at the beginning of decentralized finance as we have on Ethereum. Ethereum has a lot of cobwebs that they're trying to dust off to get it caught up with the times. However, Cardano is on the cutting edge. So I do think that Cardano is going to do very well as a result of this, and you're going to see this layer 2 ecosystem explode. I would not be surprised at all if within 1 year, 12 months, so I'm talking about March 17th of next year, if the rest of the cryptocurrency market continues to at least trade sideways or grow, I would not be surprised to see $100 billion in total value locked over on Cardano, because that's how fast these things move. Now, as far as the charts are concerned in the short, medium, and long term, short term, if Bitcoin allows it by keeping the market healthy enough that people are willing to risk investing in an altcoin other than Bitcoin, an altcoin period, I should say, then we may see Cardano break this descending wedge and rally all the way back up to $1. I would not be surprised at all to see that. And in fact, we could even see an inverse head and shoulders pattern forming right here that would help drive us back to $1. Now, on the medium term, I'm talking 1 to 6 months. Where Cardano goes is extremely dependent on on Bitcoin. And quite frankly, I can't really give you much of a prediction in that time frame. And the reason is because we don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. We don't know what's going to happen with war in Europe. We don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic. We don't know what's going to happen with inflation. We don't know what's going to happen with interest rates. We don't know a lot of things. We don't know what's going to happen with the stock market. We don't know what's going to happen with unemployment. We don't know what is going to happen with Bitcoin in the next 3 to 6 months. It's very difficult to make predictions right now because there's so much uncertainty. The water is very choppy, so it's kind of hard to tell what the tides are going to do. So I'm not going to make a medium-term prediction. Long-term, though, and I have said this many times and I stand by it, in 2022 dollars, I think you are going to see between a $20 and a $30 Cardano, and I do think that you're going to see Cardano go to over $1 trillion in market capitalization. And by the way, I think you're also going to see the same thing happen to Ethereum, and I think that's going to happen within the next 10 years. A year from today, I think Cardano will probably be between about $2 to $5, and that comes from the growth of the layer 2 ecosystem, that comes from competition with Ethereum, and that comes from my belief that in the next 1 to 6 months, Bitcoin might not rally, but within the next 12 months, I do believe that it most certainly will. That will drive hype into the Cardano project. More and more people will be learning about Charles Hoskinson, and more people will be learning about what Cardano is, why it is, and what it is doing to help the world. And they're going to invest in Cardano because they understand the fundamentals are strong. So that's where I think Cardano is going. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Where is Cardano going, and why is Cardano going there? Do you agree with me that its total value locked and its layer 2 ecosystem is one of the big components that's going to drive growth in this cryptocurrency over the next 12 months? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. And by the way, you got to weigh in on the argument that we've been having on Coffee and Crypto. Is pineapple supposed to be on pizza? Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano himself, actually came out and said that it is the root of all evil. I'm not joking. The man himself has spoken. Charles Hoskinson said, just to be clear, pineapple on pizza is the root of all evil, and I've got to agree with him. It is true. It's the root of all evil. Original sin is pineapple on pizza. So tell me in the comment section down below, where do you fall in that argument? Before I go, though, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. But thank you so very much for watching. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, you should definitely consider subscribing because we're trying to help you become financially free in these cryptocurrency markets. And also, consider following us on Twitter @CryptoJeb for more updates on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Peace.